answer them at the end if that's okay. All right, so we're here today for Advanced Placement Student and Family Information Night. This is a space for us just to connect and receive some common information and have the opportunity to ask some questions about AP programs this year as well as AP exams. My name is Mallory Umar. I am the Assistant Director of Curriculum and Instruction. I oversee many areas within our USD, including our district's AP programs. Within the buildings, we also have building AP coordinators. We have Anna at Horlick, Jen at Park, and Katie at Walden. These are typically your first go-tos after talking to the teacher if you have some questions about the AP program, and really great resources. They've been working with the program for a number of years. And so if you wanted to just take a moment to identify who your school AP coordinator is. If you are attending another school that does not have an AP coordinator, perhaps you're attending Real and where we have one AP class, you're welcome to reach directly up to me. Okay, so in those schools where we have just one course or two courses, there's not an AP coordinator identified for the building, that's me. And so these are your folks who are your primary points of contact. Also in the background, not necessarily your direct contact right now, but they're doing a lot on the coordinating and the testing side, are our gifted and advanced coordinators. We have Nikki Radcliffe and Michelle Birch, who are also a part of our team as well. But the folks on this screen are your contacts if you have questions about the AP program. These folks are going to be your main point people. Again, we'll have a question and answer session at the end of the presentation. Feel free to throw those questions in the chat or just wait till the end. The purpose of tonight's session is to review information about AP classes and exams for this year. If you have a pen or paper to take notes, you're welcome to do that. Sometimes it's helpful just to take a photo because there will be some slides with a lot of information. I will send out a copy of this slideshow to the AP teachers to share with their students. So you will receive this as well. But sometimes you might just want to, grab a quick date or time or something like that to hold in the meantime. And there will be a recording available as well on Parent University for those of you who want to reference that in the future. We have many different AP courses offered within our USD, as well as a number of courses offered virtually. We're continuing to evaluate, expand, and grow our AP programs, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Next year, we'll have a new AP course coming to our USD. In regards to AP exams are held during the first 2 weeks of May, and that for this year. And so all of the exams are administered at a standard day and time set by the College Board. So the College Board will say the AP US History exam happens at 8 o'clock on Thursday, the first week of May, and that's what time it's happening across the country. And so those are things that are set and can't be moved. If there's a situation, there are some opportunities for makeup exams that we can talk about if there's an extenuating circumstance. But I'll share with you a little bit later in the presentation the day and time of your exam or your student's exam so that you can mark that off. Most of the exams are about 3 hours long. There's some variants, but they're about 3 hours long, and all of the exams will be held in person. More information about the testing sites will be shared in the spring. Right now, we are in exam registration season, the month of October. First week of November is our exam registration time. And once we know the numbers of the students testing, we do test as a district. And so we'll secure the location and share that with you in the spring before your exam. Typically in the past, we have tested at Gateway College like we did last year, as well as at the Professional Learning Center, our Community Pathways campus in Racine. So we will take a look at the exam registrations, the numbers, and all of the students from across the district who are taking that course will come at that day and time and take that exam. I'm going to leave this on the screen for just about a minute or so and pause to give you an opportunity to take a look. This is the schedule for the May exams. So if you would like to take a moment to identify the exams that you or your child are taking and write down the day and the time, that way you can reserve that on your calendar. So go ahead and take a second and locate those now. For classes that have some portfolios and or performance tasks like AP Seminar or Art and Design, there are also some internal deadlines. And so the classroom teacher can also be a reference for when some of those pieces are due. Now, we don't offer every single AP course within our USD, but sometimes you might have a student or you yourself are interested in taking an exam for a class we don't offer. For example, within our USD, we do not offer AP German, right? It's not a class that's on our slate. However, if your student is fluent in German and this is a topic that they've studied independently, or perhaps you have close family connections and you want to take the exam, I wanted to let you know that we will host that exam for you. Okay, we will order the exam, we'll secure an exam room, we'll proctor the exam. So if there is an AP exam and we don't offer the course and you're still interested in taking the exam, that is an option. I'm going to ask that if you know that, please email apexams@ourusd.org very soon, within the next few days, to let me know, because I will need to indicate within the AP system that we are indeed giving that exam. Sometimes that happens with languages, sometimes that happens with just courses that a student's a particular expert in because of a hobby. So I wanted to let you know that if you didn't see that on our list, then it's okay. We're more than happy to host that for you so that your student has the opportunity to take the exam and get credit. In looking at the schedule, for some of our students who take more than one AP exam, it is not uncommon for a student to have two exams that they're supposed to take at the exact same time. You might notice that, at 8 a.m., chemistry and let's say AP research are scheduled, and sometimes that happens. And so what you would want to do is notify your school AP counselor or notify me that you notice that there's a conflict with two exams that your student is taking at the exact same time. And we will make arrangements for the student to take one of those exams on a makeup day. So that happens with students who take multiple exams periodically. So please don't worry about that. We can make those arrangements for you so that you're able to take both of those exams. So one thing that we are really encouraging students to do is to take the AP exam and to commit to taking that AP exam now. Research shows from AP that students who commit to taking the exams in the fall do better in the course because they are entering that course with that idea in mind that they plan on taking the exam. So even though the exam is optional, we're really encouraging students to take advantage of that option. There's about a week or so to register. And we, the teachers, the AP coordinators and counselors have been going into classes and helping students get registered for their exam. So far, we have over 300 exam registrations, which is great. And so this is our last push before the deadline closes. There is the opportunity to register late. That does come with fees. However, we want to encourage all of the students to make the commitment to take their AP exam now. And that way they can operate moving forward, knowing they're taking that exam and really invested in the course content and the learning that's happening. AP exams are $96, $144, depending on the exam that you're taking per the College Board. However, RUSD wants to make that much more accessible for our students. So we're committing to paying 2/3 of all exam fees. So for most AP exams, you would only pay $33 per exam, very low cost. And for students who are income eligible, you would pay only $0 for exams. There's some information in the AP letter that I sent out detailing what you would need to turn in to be income eligible. And you can also contact your social worker to confirm your eligibility. However, just wanted to share that we really want to support students in their journey to take the AP exams. And so we're significantly discounting that, and we're picking up the cost so that the cost on the student, the cost on the family is a lot less. Exam fees, students will register, and they're registering now, will be posted by the first week of December in your child's Infinite Campus account. So if your child has already registered for their AP exam, you're not going to see their fee yet. Those fees will all pop up around the same time, around the first week of December. You can pay those at any point during the year. We encourage you to pay those off before the end of the year. Another reason to consider registering for that AP exam now by the deadline is because there will be a late registration fee. Those are dictated, unfortunately, by the College Board. There's nothing that we can do to waive them. And so if you are thinking about taking the AP exam, I encourage you to make that commitment now. If you decide later, let's say in February, that you want to take the AP exam, there would be a $40 late registration fee. It's not, it's still significantly cheaper than the cost of even the original cost of the exam with the discount that our USD is giving, and certainly much cheaper than the cost of a college class, at a university. And so I encourage students to take the exam if you can register for it before that November 4th deadline, though, to avoid the fee. If you sign up for the exam and don't show up or you cancel, there is also a $40 fee that's not waived for any student. So really encouraging students to sign up for the exam and take the exam. AP scores are reported typically on a scale of 1 to 5, and typically a score of 3 is considered passing the exam. However, different colleges and universities have different standards and sometimes more rigorous standards. And so we encourage you, and I'll show you a site in a little while that you can do some research, typically just reaching out to the college or university and asking, what score does my child need to receive? What score do I need to receive on the AP exam to get credit at the university that, I'm thinking about attending? Again, typically a 3 is considered passing, but there are some schools that implement more rigorous standards. And research shows that students who take their AP exam, even if they don't score a 3 or higher, are more likely to do better during their first year of college. And so that preparation and engaging in that rigorous assessment is beneficial, even if the student does not earn that passing score. One of the big benefits of passing an AP exam is the potential to get college credit. At UW-Madison, for example, to take a 3-credit course, that's over $1,000. However, if you register for the AP exam with our USD's discount, you're paying $33 for the opportunity to earn the same credit you would with that $1,000 class. And I'm going to link in a website here if many students go to school within like the UW system, where you can check and see what scores do I need to get, which exams do the colleges accept, so that you can explore that. And that's just within the UW system. If you were to go to a school like Marquette, for example, where I went to grad school, a 3-credit course is $3,000. And so you're paying $33 for the opportunity to potentially save $3,000 in the future. And so really, really low cost, really high benefit. Again, really encourage all students to take that exam just to give it an attempt. They've engaged in the course all year long. And so engaging in the exam is a part of that process. For our students who take multiple exams, students who score highly on exams, there are a series of AP awards as well that are given by the College Board. We recognize these every year. In September, we had the opportunity to recognize our AP scholars at a board meeting. And so for those who are taking more than one exam and doing well, there is the opportunity to earn some of these AP awards as well, straight from the College Board. And the AP department and the teachers are planning on more opportunities for test prep in the spring. I met with the AP teachers and I meet with the AP coordinators regularly, and we were talking about building in some opportunities for students to do some additional test prep and provide more support. So I look forward to sharing some of that information when some of those details are ironed out later this spring. So more information coming second semester, but we certainly want to support your students and making sure that they feel prepared and ready for that exam. AP Central is the AP website. So when thinking about students preparing for the exam, there are so many resources on the AP Central site. There are daily videos on the content. And when we get closer to exam time, there are exam review videos. So this is really a place where students can use to study. The teacher can also send resources, but there are also other resources that students can access independently. I really encourage students to spend some time here. You know, if there was a tricky concept in class, or perhaps a concept that, you know, the student wants more reinforcement on, or just a review of something that was covered earlier in the year, there are some amazing resources. All of the students have AP Central accounts. They signed up with their classroom teacher. And so exploring that, bookmarking that on the home computer, on the laptop, on your phone, I think that this is invaluable, especially if you're out for a couple of days, or you know, you just want to make sure that you're reviewing concepts. There are some really great materials on this AP Central site, and students can engage with that. Next year, I wanted to share with the AP community that we are adding a new AP course. AP Pre-Calculus is coming to RUSD. It's been approved, and it's set in motion. And so we're ordering the materials and getting all set. So for those of you who still have a little bit more time within RUSD, next year AP Pre-Calculus will be an option for many of you. Earlier this month, you received a letter, or you should have received a letter. If you did not, certainly check your information in Infinite Campus, or you're welcome to reach out to me. I also put a copy on the AP RUSD website that has more details about some of these things. For example, there's that list of the day and times of the exams, the steps that you would need to take to provide the information for income eligibility. And so I linked a copy here in this slideshow, and I will share a copy of the slideshow with the AP teachers, who will then share with students so that you can have another copy of that, or a copy if you didn't receive it the first time as well. Spring exam information, again, dates, times you kind of reserved on your calendar already, but you are still waiting on the location. And sometimes there are guidelines, directions for parking, and all of that. Those will come out later in the spring. So you'll receive one more physical letter from me, and then you should receive some forwarded information from RUSD AP programs, from the AP teachers for the exam. So you can look out for that information in the spring, so that you have all of the final details, so that you're ready for those exams. So that's the base of the AP program, and some of the logistics. Wanted to cover dates, times, costs, sort of 101 ways that we can support. I would love to take some time and answer some questions. If anybody has questions, you can put them in the chat, or you are welcome to say that you'd like to speak, and then I can call on you if it's easier to explain verbally. All right, one of the questions in the chat, does RUSD offer all the foreign languages? We do not offer all of the foreign languages. We offer a few of the languages,